Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Esports Show. I'm the host of Boast the Most Roast, and yes, that is a fat joke. I'm the goddamn Badgetarian Neil, and to my left today, for something different, is the man of all grilled meats, the Rocket League connoisseur, Lewis T-Ball Time Gratz.
How you doing, Terry?
Yeah, not too bad. Sans judge at the moment, he's actually a little bit crook, which is not good. Not good. So we're flying without net. Flying without net. So
flying without net.
Well, look, I mean, he's the ringmaster of ridiculousness, so like he keeps us in check. So we'll see how we go. We're in for production.
I'm glad no one else can see.
What we see. You're protected very well,
bit.
viewers. That's what we can say right now.
Do you want to write? Yep. Okay. I'll get that.
Yeah, but I sound like that normally.
I'll get that. I'll get that.
Okay, you'll get that.
That's fine.
Like, by this time we should have everything sorted, but we don't. That's just how
Of course not. We don't even have our three members.
He's here in spirit, though.
In
but
spirit?
I think I'll pick up the slack by saying allegedly a lot. I don't think I'm muted. Have I done a nightfall? Have I done a nightfall? That's the question. No.
So check it out. I'm good.
We're good. I'm all green. What is happening? Are you plugged in? Yes.
Are we still having mic issues there?
Yeah, no, that's me normally, production. Thank you.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, God. All right, so we'll just jump into
Where
it.
are we at?
We'll just jump into it?
We may as well.
We're doing. All right, so let's talk OPL Week 5 just gone. So if production could politely bring up the results from last week. No? So here we are from the first Super Week. We've got AV taking down Legacy 2-1, Dire Wolves taking down Bombers 2-0, Order returning to the Rift, defeating Bombers 2-0, Chiefs 2-0ing AV, Dire Wolves 2-0, Sin Gaming, and Legacy Esports 2-0ing Tectonic. My heart breaks.
Just 2-0s everywhere to the favourites.
Just 2-0 everywhere.
Except for Avant.
Except for Avant. I mean, Legacy did pick up a win, which was nice. So it's a return to, the first 3 weeks of the OPL, where it was just 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's how we are right now. Let's just quickly whip over to the OPL standings, if we could. Dire Wolves sitting pretty on top with a 3-point lead amongst the new superstars Order Gaming. Sitting on 16 points, Order second for 13. Third, Chiefs Esports Club with the Fantics Factor hitting in at third, 12 points. Legacy 11, Avant 10. Sin, Tectonic and Bombers pulling up the rear 2, and Tectonic and Bombers drawing it for the coveted Silver Spoon relegation spot.
Yeah, they're not too stoked, but I'm not really surprised by this ladder at all.
No, I'm not either. I mean, having the former Worlds contenders up top, I'm not surprised. They've had a taste for Worlds and they know how to play now, like really hard League of Legends. So yeah.
Exactly right.
So, yep.
And then next week, what have we got coming up?
Massive. It's the head-to-head round.
Any interesting matches here?
Oh, there's nothing really I actually really found interesting. It's going to be quite cut and dry. So first we've got Tectonic Chiefs. I'm going for 2-0 for Chiefs. So that one. Sin Order 2-1. I'm going to give one game to Sin. They've been playing pretty well. I'm going to have a little bit of faith in them. AV versus Order. I'm going AV 2-1. Legacy versus Dire Wolves. Dire Wolves going to 2-0 that one.
I think Saturday's looking the best.
Saturday is going to be the game. Is going to be the day to sit down with a pack of Doritos and your Mountain Dew and all your other performance enhancers that we apparently use. And sit down and watch some League of Legends.
Chips and dip.
Chips and dip. Sunday, Sin versus Chiefs. Chiefs going to 2-0 that one easy. Bombers Tectonic is probably going to be the match that I'm actually most looking forward to. The 2 bottom teams.
Yep.
I want Tectonic to win, so I've actually put them down to go 2-1 against Bombers. So that's just my tips for me.
I like your tips, Terry.
Oh,
wait, where did you come? Where did he come from?
He's back.
I've just been purging the toxicity from my body that surrounds me in the League of Legends scene here in Oceania.
It's just everything.
Yeah. I'm not feeling much better, but I'm still here. So I'm gonna stay at this distance, this end of the desk.
Yeah,
and
we're glad one of our responsible parents are back home.
Yeah.
We needed you.
You needed me? Yeah, look, all I could hear was giggling. And
there was
some tech issues.
Production wanted to walk in front of the camera, but he wasn't probably appropriately dressed.
Twitch ban.
Yeah, look, he's done that before on other Twitch streams, and I don't think he needs to intentionally do it on this one. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Esports Show. I am here. Sorry that we have had a rocky start to tonight.
I mean, like, that's the first rocky start. Well, I won't say first rocky start. Let's be real.
No, that was the first major issue start we've had, though. I think we'll give it. But we are here. We've just covered the OPL for week 5. And it was good to see the results that came out of OPL.
Yep.
I think we're slowly getting better with our predictions in terms of win-loss. Did we pick all 6 last week?
I think we did get 6.
We got 6.
We got
I don't
Did
think
you
we
go
quite got
Avant
all
versus Legacy?
Yeah, one of Avant, yeah.
Okay.
And we actually called the 2-1, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so
I checked our tips because I've been
Yeah.
tipping on our behalf
Ooh.
because I want to win that Hungry Jack's $100 voucher. 'Cause I'm a fat boy and I
there we
love
go.
that. We're sitting on 80%.
Okay,
We're
well, actually.
675th out of everyone.
Oh, wow.
How many is that out of 700?
676. No, I haven't actually checked the whole stats, but like, we're not doing too
Okay,
bad.
that's
Like,
not too
80%
bad.
is close to an A. Look, I'll take it. It's
Yeah,
better
look,
than I did in high school.
it's better than most of us did in high school. But that's the OPL. Make sure you catch that coming up this weekend for the Headspace round. A very important round talking about mental health. Great charity that the OPL has partnered with here. Make sure you follow all of their socials as well. Headspace, Headspace_AU, I think it is off the top of my head, and also at OPL. So make sure you follow those. Moving forward though, we've got a lot happening with Cybergamer at the moment. With CSGO week number 3 coming up.
Yeah, we've got a
CGP.
picture of week number 2.
We've got
we can jump
week
into.
number 2.
Graphics.
Talk me through this, Laws. I haven't been on broadcast this week. I did catch a bit of it when I could watch it. Tell me what went on.
So we've got 300 teams now. The Chiefs and Greyhound have caught up with Corvidae. They're all 4-0. Atletico went 2-0. So they're sitting at even. Knights, Hurricane Dolphin Squad, Ground Zero and Avant all had 0-2 losses.
Okay.
So unfortunate for them. But yeah, Avant sitting down the bottom there. Next, so the matches for next week were up there as well.
Yes, which is, and if we have a look here, this is PUBG.
PUBG, CGI. So Tannermines are making their way up the ladder now.
They've gone up, what, one whole position?
No, they were, when the announcement came out, I think that they were going overseas. I think they were 18th, then they were 16th last week.
Yeah, that's right.
And
no,
then,
sorry, you're right.
And then they were, they're 12th now. So there's 1 week to go, and they may get into that top 10.
Oh, look out.
They will.
Having a look here.
Blue for Regnar on Henchkins. I love that.
I believe so, with a photoshopped baby face.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, being a kid. So look at the CGI PUBG's actually been really interesting. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching it. Stabby's doing the coverage for that. I've really enjoyed the counterplay that we're actually seeing out of these teams. Like, sure, PUBG is full of RNG in terms of drop and loot and stuff like that, and of course where the circles are actually going to end up. But looking at how these teams of 4 actually take on encounters and situations in the server is actually really interesting. So I encourage everybody, check out CGI PUBG.
Cool. Watch it. Tuesday nights.
That's it.
Tuesday.
And Wednesday, I believe, isn't it? Tuesday and Wednesday? Steve, is PUBG Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yeah, but just for CGI.
Just Tuesday for CGI?
For CGI. Then there's CGA, which I believe is
Yes.
Wednesday, and then solos on Sunday.
That's right, that's it. Yeah,
Monday,
CGA
Tu-
actually
there's
flies,
lots
3
lots
nights a
of
week for
CGA.
CGA.
Cool.
There's actually still a lot of teams in there. So make sure as well for next season, if you're interested in competing in CG PUBG, sign up for CGA and get involved that way. We've also got a CGO Battalion.
Yep. So that's just started up.
It has. I covered a match of it this week.
Hey.
How'd you go?
Oh, and I got into the server.
Incredible. Incredible. What's the spectator slots like for that?
Okay, so I love, and I'm going to put a disclaimer out, that I love Joe and the team at Bulkhead, and I love Battalion, I really do, and it's no unknown fact that it's had some issues after launch, right?
Yeah.
It is an early access title, so that's a given. But thoroughly love the game. One of the problems at the moment, because spectator slots, it doesn't run off of like a GoTV sort of thing like CSGO does. There are dedicated servers for it, similar, but you go in and you actually need to be an admin of the server and have admin permissions to be able to spectate it, which is fine. I kind of understand that, you know, they're focusing on actually getting the game to work nicely rather than esports ready, you know what I mean? But the actual spectate UI, other than a couple of glitches, really good. Main problem I found with the spectate UI, and I'm not sure if anyone's actually ever submitted this to Joe, so I should probably put it in the ticket. But joining as an admin and a spectator, you take up a slot in the server. Then when you move to spectate, you've still got a slot in the server, which will bug one slot's UI as a spectator, So
Right.
for one of the teams, because it's 5v5, one of the players, I couldn't actually spectate them nor see their stats the whole match.
Okay.
Which was a little bit of a bug. But other than that, it was actually really good. There was good competition. I covered the game between Hype Gaming and Ent Esports Club. So a couple of smaller teams. Hype did very well. Score ended up 13-9. So it was actually a relatively close game. But it's thick, it's fast-paced. It reminds me of Call of Duty from back in the day. And looking forward to more challenges coming out. Of course, it's an ELO system at the moment on Battalion, and it's an open ladder. So you can still sign up now. If you got a team of 5, you can put them together and make your team now and start challenging. So, of course, only having a couple of games played so far after the ladder's opened, we've seen some teams break ahead of the pack already, getting some ELO points on the board. So it's good stuff.
Cool. And you can sign up to Rocket League Open Ladder still.
Yes.
That's got quite a few dollars up, $3,000. That you can win top 8 paid out in the final structure. So get involved.
Yeah, get on board. Looking at Heroes of the Storm, though, let's follow up on our coverage from last week.
Yes.
What is going on in HOTS?
Absolutely nothing in ANZ. Everyone's taking a week off. But
Thank you. It's like, wow, that was some great journalism.
I like seeing you. Oh, it's better than some that we've seen recently.
Oh, God. Don't start there. I'm too sick to deal with this right
I'm
now.
talking about overseas stuff, not local. It's fine.
Okay.
So there's no matches this week for the ANZ Premier League. Everyone's taking a week off. That starts off on the 26th of February. Recapping the teams is Nomad Outlaws, Crimson, GG Go Next, your mates over at Rich Gaming, Neko Neko Mimi, QM, and Downfall. But the Western Clash is at Katowice. Did I pronounce that right?
Close.
Is
It's a pass.
Okay, cool. That's all I need. At IAM.
That's all you get.
That's all I need. That's all. No, we'll skip ahead on that one.
Yeah.
$100,000 US up for grabs.
Damn.
Team Dignitas is going for 3 in a row. So they've won last year and the previous year, so going for the trifecta.
Good on him.
Last NA team was C9 back at BlizzCon in 2015.
Oh,
so
damn.
it's been heavily European dominated. Starts match March 2nd. We're looking at Dignitas, Fnatic, Method, Zealot, Tempo Storm, Team 12, Team Freedom. I'm assuming that's a North American team because, you know, freedom. And Heroes Heart Earth Esports. The casters got announced as well.
Right.
We're looking at Jayhow, Caldor, Trickster, Gillyweed, all from North America. Same with Dreadnought. And we have an Oceanic representative in Vandy.
Vandy is actually pretty good. I saw the tweets come out celebrating that she got on board. She was asked to come be talent for that event.
Yeah.
And awesome. I think it's great
amazing.
that we're getting representation of not only player talent at these international esports events, but also commentary talent as well.
100%.
So congrats, Vandy, by the way.
Fantastic. But that's about it. That's,
Awesome.
Yes, but
You're getting really good at your wrap-ups, Terry.
I really am trying, but please, Blizzard, update your sites more.
Why? How to get information?
3 hours just for that.
Gee.
Jesus.
It's just like, I'll go to the Heroes of the Storm. Nope. Every link, same page.
Try Liquipedia next time.
I did try Wikipedia.
Oh, gee.
That hasn't been updated for quite some time.
Oh my God. Dash has confirmed, yes, Team Freedom is American. They originally had a Dota team. So, of course, Dash knows that from his days in Dota. But no, that's cool. Awesome. Good on your Team Freedom. What a name. But best of luck to all the teams competing in HOTS across the world. Moving forward, do we want to get into this one right now? We've got quite a lot going on tonight. We can get in. This is a bit of a major story, I think. Bit to unpack in this one.
Is this the beefy one? Yes.
We can do it whenever you want, but we can get it out of the way.
Yeah, let's get it out of the way. So, for those of you who paid any attention to Twitter this week regarding the OPL and Reddit, there was a massive discussion about a potential conflict of interest between Jake Spawnsberry, who is the general manager of Order, an esports club here in Oceania, and the fact that he's a commentator for the OPL here in Oceania. So there was quite a lengthy discussion about this on the Reddit thread. There was people on Twitter as well. I thoroughly loved the reply that came from Riot, though. I think it was one of the most well-written pieces that we've had in response to an issue like this in some time. Do we actually have any clips or anything?
I don't really have any
images?
clips or images because
Yeah, it was quite a lengthy thread. So
it was a lengthy thread, and there were like no clips of him being biased.
yeah, that's it. No evidence in the contrary either. So
Yeah.
the long story short is that how could a general manager also then work for Riot and commentate games of the club that
So he
he's
was.
working.
So quick rundown. He was the previous head of league infrastructure
Yes.
for Riot Games OCE.
Yes.
Right. Then, towards the end of the last season, he said, "I'm going to be starting up with a new org
Yep.
called Order, and I'm going to be the general manager, or whatever his title is now." On the thing we'll talk about next, he's listed as esports.
What?
He is esports.
That's just his title.
Okay.
That's just his title. Someone else has got the general manager tag. So
Okay.
I don't know what the exact deal with that is.
We'll get
but
to that then.
He's called esports.
Is he ready though?
I don't know.
Look, with-
Apparently, well, the claim is he's too ready.
The claim is he's far too
Claim
ready.
is too ready. So he's been. OPL has lost a lot of its casters to the LPL.
Yes.
Everyone's exited and gone overseas.
Yeah, which is a big deal.
So now, like how Riot's stated, we didn't foster grassroots. They haven't been fostering grassroots commentating either,
No.
because they only had basically two OCS casters. One of them went to China, and one of them doesn't really work with Riot anymore. So now you got no one there. So whoever they're going to bring into that, I don't know.
No.
Secondly, because OCS has got to be starting soon, right? Secondly, so they've gone right. So he's desk host, he's commentator, he's doing everything. He's doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Not
peop-
only that, but he had a pivotal role at Riot prior to Order
Yeah,
as well.
so teams had to submit their business plans to him.
Yeah.
And then they went, no, we're not doing that anymore. And so Riot said, okay, he can't come to meetings anymore. He doesn't have access to our important drives. He doesn't have access to information. He's basically cut out of Riot OCE, except for little things here
I
and
think
there.
that it's important to explain what conflict of interest actually is, because conflict of interest is a term that's thrown around on the internet frequently. And just because there is potential for a conflict doesn't mean there is a conflict. And it's also important to recognize what potential conflict of interest is, right? So to put it really simply, conflict of interest is only an issue where you can leverage a position at one place to benefit another.
Yep.
So to explain in this example, if Spawn was leveraging his position at Riot to benefit his position and the position of the organization over at Order, direct abusive conflict of interest,
Yep.
that's a problem. What Riot did here is removed any ability for Spawn to leverage anything.
Yep.
He didn't have access to information, like you said. He basically got as far removed from the operations of the OPL as possible until they came to the agreement that he was now a subcontractor. So he's not actually an employee of Riot anymore.
he came in as a freelancer.
That's right.
That was the official wording. So I can basically throw that out if that's all true.
Yeah, and
we
honestly,
assume it is.
I
And we
would believe
assume it
that
is,
Spawn has
yes.
been a staple of the esports industry in our country for a
100%.
long time. He's one of the people that I would trust as well.
Yeah.
And I would say that he did this in good faith, because he reported, or it's reported that he reported as early as possible that he was going to be the GM of Order. That as soon as he knew it was locked in, he reported it to Riot to remove any potential for conflict.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. He could have waited. He could have waited and then, surprise,
Yeah.
I'm a GM now, catch you later, got all this information. But he didn't do that. He was very forthwith.
Yeah. So that's good. So we can pretty much throw that out as a concern.
Yeah.
Secondary concern comes over his commentating, because they say, and this happens in sports, this happens in it happens in sports in Australia. It doesn't really happen in America.
No. But, you know, the population difference in America and the size of their
Slightly
sporting
different.
industries
It's
is a
slightly
little different
Well,
too.
and they've also got a very different makeup of how they commentate games.
Yes, they
Because the
do.
commentators are specifically employed by that team to follow that team in a lot of the sports. So
Yes.
baseball and ice hockey specifically that I know of,
Mm-hmm.
those commentators like travel with the team. They know that team.
That's
They're
right.
biased towards that team. And they do commentate biased towards that team. They still go for the other guys.
Yeah, of course.
But right there, they'd say conflict of interest. But if you can cast professionally, it's not going to be. There's pretty much one instance in esports in OCE, which everyone keeps bringing it back to, where there's one commentator and team owner, coach, who really struggled being unbiased,
Yeah.
right? And so pretty much now everyone associated with an org at any level is now labelled as they can't do that.
They're biased, they're incompetent, they can't do this.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's a big issue. And looking at what Riot said in their post as well, they drew reference to our national sport, the Australian Football League, AFL, and they said if you actually look, a majority of the commentators on there, sure, they get called out for bias all the time because that's part and parcel of the industry, that if you show favouritism, doesn't matter if you've been critical of a team for a full match of footy, if you're a team, an owner of that club, and you show them any slight praise, at one moment someone will call you out for bias, right? Even if on balance you've been critical of the team. But that was the point that Riot made, is that when you look at, you know, James Brayshaw, Eddie Maguire, although Eddie Maguire aside, you look at these people in the AFL that are offering the commentary, if anything, they're more biased towards the opposing team because they are far more critical of their own team. Part of that can be attributed to the in-depth knowledge they have of their team. To go, this isn't good enough, I know that they should be doing better. And there's also the other side of it as well, that even if they were biased towards their own team, surely there's someone else on the desk that's balancing that. Because, I mean, there's three of us here. If we're talking about a topic and you favour it, I might dislike it, there's your balance. So bias is something that is thrown, and Nolski's just said it in the chat as well, it's another word thrown around without much care.
But we never got it. Like
bias doesn't mean there's a problem.
When we were with Abyss,
Yes.
we never got called out as being biased for Abyss. We got called out being biased against Abyss somehow because people are going to take whatever they want and run with it.
And bias is simply a word that indicates that your influences lie one side of a line. Bias in and of itself isn't the problem. It's when that bias heavily influences your ability to do your job. And Spawn, I can say, without a doubt, has never let bias influence the way he hosts or commentates League of Legends.
No, it's been, I've seen no issues in it. Like I've looked, like you watch it and go, oh, he could be pretty biased here, but then he's fine. I haven't seen any
He's
concern.
very level-headed throughout the whole cast.
Yeah.
If anything, he's more critical of it, or like you were saying before, because he knows what they're capable of.
Exactly.
So he doesn't show a lot of favouritism.
So, I mean, I think we're all in agreement here that
Yes.
anyone that thinks Spawn is showing preference to order, I call bullshit.
I still don't
because-
mind if he does. I still don't mind if he does a little bit.
No, it's
I
not.
do not mind that.
It's like EGM showing bias towards Chiefs.
Yeah,
It's because he's from there.
exactly.
The talent pool is running
It'd be
out, so
like
we're gonna have to get-
Carbon sitting on the analyst couch showing preference to Legacy,
Yeah.
or using Legacy examples when he's explaining concepts more.
And
It's
he
because that's what he knows.
And he should, and I don't care. As I said, in America, I watch a lot of sports based around these people are 100% for these teams. When we watch cricket in Australia, the commentators are biased to Australia.
Absolutely.
It's just how it goes.
Yep.
It's how the broadcasts are tailored, and I don't really have a huge concern
I
with it.
think for me, it's all about balance. If you're going to have, you need to recognise potential biases in and of yourself, and also if you're managing a broadcast team, recognise potential biases you will have on that desk, and go, okay, how do we manage these? Is there going to be a lot of bias? Does this person display bias in their commentary? How do we balance that out with someone else? And that's easy enough to do. You can have a conversation and go, look, Spawn, if it had ever happened, Spawn, hey, you've been leaning towards order a little bit, mate. Like, maybe start talking about the other teams a bit more in matches.
They crack down on their casters if
They
they're
do.
if they're
Riot
going
is
astray.
very good at it.
Yep.
Well, they've
So-
only got two left, so
So
they've got two a guest analyst and an analyst. That's about it.
yeah, and they get players on quite a bit for.
You good?
Someone was just complaining in chat that your microphone's off, but it's not. So
It's not.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
you.
we
It's
were-
you, the viewer.
Yeah.
We're biased towards ourselves.
I might jump in
See?
here though,
Bias.
because I think that's pretty much wrapped.
Yeah. Onto
Before we move on to the next topic, which also regards order, Genome's actually posed a question to us live in the chat.
yeah, we were going to get to that in a bit. It is in
We
the
are?
run, it is in the run sheet,
Oh, where's that? Oh, there it is. We can do it now.
so we can do it.
We can do it now, Steve? Okay, yeah.
Bill Riley.
You'll screw it up, but
We
it's
don't.
okay.
We don't have an image for it anyway, so he.
No. Okay, so we want to talk about Overwatch contenders because it has been announced. There had been previous details about it and hypotheses, but now we've
Yep.
actually got some more details.
Yeah. So, because because I did already have this written down. Basically, it begins March 12th on twitch.tv/Overwatch Contenders. $150,000 for the year in prize pool over 3 seasons.
Okay.
So
50
not
grand a
bad.
season?
Not
Yeah,
bad.
not bad. Plus match payments as well. That's just the prize
Plus
pool.
match payments, yep. I had some issues with their website.
Blizzard.
some of the links didn't.
Yay,
some of-
Blizzard winning at internets.
Yep. But it goes for the season goes for 6 weeks. It looks like the home and away season. 8 teams have been decided. 4 teams still to qualify, so 12 in total.
Nice.
And the good, fun little bit is that the matches are on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday
Cool.
at 2 p.m. Eastern.
I thought it was Monday, Tuesday, and it wasn't Wednesday. It was another day. I thought it was like a Saturday or something.
I don't know. I got Wednesday on
Oh,
here,
okay.
but it's weekdays at 2 p.m. Australian Eastern.
So
Yeah.
That is a good time
That's great.
for NA.
Yes.
that's great.
Now, Genome's raised some points here because people have gone, why the hell are they doing those times? That doesn't make sense. And no, it doesn't make sense for endemic viewership nor endemic players because there's been a discussion on Twitter while I was busy trying to get myself ready for the show about, okay, well, they're salaried players, so they should just be able to afford it. And I just want to make one point that if you're going to comment on something like this, at least do a tiny little bit of research first in knowing the kind of economic landscape surrounding contenders in our region.
Well, in that they may have to go to school or work a job.
Funny that, like
And
Adam from Oz, one of the best players in our region,
what if we just
also really young. Like, he's not even in high school yet. This guy, like, you know, he's in middle school. This guy is still growing up. So these guys are going to still be going to school if they're older, going to work to pay the bills because match payments of roughly $143 or however the breakdown goes, 'cause a big breakdown for different outcomes.
Yep.
That's not enough once a week, let alone, and the clubs that are picking up contenders teams in the economic structure of our region are not going to be salarying them for more than 500 a week. Not even 300 a week. If they did, they'd be nuts, and they'd probably lose their investment and lose all of their teams. Like,
All right. Okay.
can we just hand your microphone over there so we don't have to
Oh,
see this.
I'm gonna make him suffer. Suffer.
Steve's commando crawling on the ground at the moment to get Terry's mic from him.
Just give him
subtly.
your microphone. Give me a unit. Give me a unit.
Oh,
Give him your unit as Steve puts his hand on
I
Terry's
literally
thigh.
just did a sexual harassment and bullying thing at work.
Okay, Jesus.
All right. So
Start an esports show, they say.
I think we'll just
guys
have a
just-
chat to each other, Matt. And
Okay, so like Nigel said, Adam's like 16. Still, he's really young.
16.
Like-
You're in high school. You have to go to high school.
Yeah, okay, so he's not middle school, he's high school. I thought he was like late middle school, but he's like just in starting high school.
It doesn't matter.
He's 16. In this country, he's only been allowed to have a job for just over a year and a half.
Yeah. It's
Like-
it's mental. It is
mental. And
It's
so,
mental.
like, that's my first point, right? Aussie Leader said, look, you can't live in AU like that, and you can't. You could not live off of $150 a week.
I try to.
Yeah, and then exactly, you try. You don't, but you try. So,
My work thinks I can.
but I do understand. I understand the scheduling. Like Genome said, South America's in South America, I think he said, was a similar thing, because it's all to do with contenders and Overwatch League time slots.
Yeah.
That they're not putting contenders on at a time that ever conflicts with Overwatch League is the plan, because they obviously want traffic to go to Overwatch League, but still want people watching contenders as a secondary product. So that makes sense, sure. But it then makes it so hard, like we've said with Smite, for this region to support this region.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Thank you, Commander Steve.
All right.
Steve has now left us. From
We'll see if
chilling
that's
underneath our chairs.
we'll see if that's working now, or maybe we can get in one of his
Yeah,
other
Tag
mics.
said days are Monday, Tuesday, Sunday.
Monday, Tuesday, Sunday.
Yeah. So Sunday, sure, 1 p.m. Sunday would be fine, but not 1 p.m. Tuesday or Monday.
Why would you want your demographic to actually watch the show? Sorry, I'll project more.
Most esports players don't bloody wake up until 1.
It's all that Doritos, chips, dip, and Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
Like-
it's just silly. It's just silly.
Very
that's,
silly.
That's the the whole story.
That's the
basically.
long and the
It's
short of
silly.
it, ladies and gentlemen. We think it's just as bloody ridiculous as you do. So we
Yep.
understand the reasoning that Blizzard might have behind it, but on balance, I think that reasoning's crap
Yep.
for the outcome. So don't like the method, but we'll have to watch and see just how well Contenders does.
Well, it'll probably get better views, to be honest.
It
but-
will. Absolutely it will.
No, because NA is in the NA time zone,
Yep.
and that's where people are watching it. So I think it will.
Yeah.
But it hurts the competition.
Exactly. So that's our thoughts on that. But back to Order, my friend, because
Yeah.
Order have released something unique. There've been attempts at something similar to this before, but nothing on this scale.
Basically, I mean, they're trying to go for, they called it a Green Bay Packers style crowdfunding.
Yes. So for those unaware, Order has launched, and I think the best way to describe this is an equity-based membership buy-in where you can actually buy in, invest in Order as a layperson, as a fan.
Yep.
So we're not talking invest $1 million to get 20% equity. We're talking put money in. They're still trying to work out the kind of pricing they're going to have around this.
Yeah,
They're asking
it'd-
for expressions of interest, but
it'd-
that's what they're looking at.
It'd be as a silent member
Yes.
as well, silent owner. Let's just take a look at the video that they put out about signing up to them. Just if you do have like sort of epilepsy or something, I'd probably advise not to watch this.
Yeah, pure, like not even a joke. Like if you do
it's pretty-
photosensitive epilepsy.
Yeah, just-
even though like screens are one thing, talking from family experience, just turn away for now.
Yeah, all right, let's check out the video.
Oh, he got it! Spook steals the Baron.
He's gonna catch all of them off now.
Why?
It was a video.
It had a beginning and a middle and an end, thank God.
You know what that reminds me of though? Whenever we say something like that,
Him?
other than him,
Yeah.
is the two old guys in the Muppets.
Yeah.
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 They're just, oh, what'd you think about the show? Well, it started and then it finished. Oh, yeah, those guys. You remind me of those in more ways than one, Terry.
I'm an old
I,
prick.
I just had to get a little snippet of a replay for what they put in there for like one of the worst memes ever. If we can run the next
Run the meme.
clip, run the little stupid bit, because you just have to watch it again.
Yeah.
Ding.
Ding. Okay. Ding.
It's
No, okay, we're not abusing that tonight.
No.
Look. There's a lot to be said about Order in general that reminds me of another esports club that decided the best way to have a social media plan and convey information to their viewers was to just use GIFs remotely related to their branding. We also know how well that went for that esports club. Let's hope that Order does a little better, because there's a lot for me personally to be desired. This video, I know what they were going for, and they were going for that shock factor, edgy, let's go, hard, fast paced, this is high octane esports. It's like, yes, it is. It is, but if I have a seizure watching your advertisement, how can I invest?
yeah, and it's consistent with their Twitter as well.
Yeah.
I think.
Can we put this to the Gruen transfer and see if Will Anderson will have a go at this? See if we can get some
Maybe.
Will Anderson will
Yeah.
professional marketing companies to actually generate an esports advertisement?
Yeah.
Because God, that'd be interesting.
It wasn't that great. But I did go into it and I was like, right, I want to invest.
Oh, look at you!
Okay, I want to invest.
You're $150 a week.
No, it's just a one-off payment.
Okay, right.
Just a one-off payment. So I went through, I looked at it. So I signed up for the you have to sign up for the website.
Okay.
And then you go through this form. So if we can get the next image. So it gives you a little thing. How much would you consider investing? I selected 50 to 99. I work
Reasonable.
I work in esports a bit, so I don't really have much money.
No.
You can select up to over $100,000. It also asks you for like your experience, your in-game name, your gamer tag, everything. So these guys vet who they want to be as silent partners.
Right.
And then and then you get an email saying thank you for your expression of interest. And I don't even know what will happen with it. So it's rather odd. Normally you think of crowdfunding as here's your tiers, and you can buy in at these different tiers.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing with Order here from a business perspective, with my very green lack of business knowledge, is, and we've seen this done in other fields before, where a Kickstarter will start up, a crowdfunding campaign will start. What they're doing at the moment is they're getting the market information from the market and asking anyone that could potentially want to invest in Order, why don't you tell us how much what you would want? And to me, I understand the merits of doing that, but it also doesn't give me confidence personally, because I expect that if they want to start a crowdfunding campaign and if they're telling me they've got the business now to be able to grow Order into something that my equity share as a crowdfunding supporter is worth something, then they should be able to get that marketing information, that market scope, and go, this is how much it's worth, this is how much our fans and the layperson in esports is willing to invest in something like this.
What they've got,
you would think that they would do that and just come out with a package. I appreciate what they're doing, but to me, I lose confidence because they're having to come to the market.
Yeah, well, they've got like 7 proposed directors already. They've got 1 million managers. They've got more management than players at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. It's a bit. Here, I just got it up. So we've got 6. We've got
serious men.
Yeah, we've got 1 managing director in Gerard Murphy.
Yes.
Then we've got 4. We got 5 extra proposed directors. Then we have 7 management with Jake Tiberi as esports. So he's not listed as GM here.
Right.
And we've got the CSGO team and the League of Legends team.
Right.
But they do say they're going to they want to get some more teams.
Yes.
That's a nice picture. That looks like the WWE. That literally, I think that is.
Yeah, we'll go into those things a little bit later. But no, it is an esports event.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it's like an ESL1. But so what confuses me is Order will generate revenue from sponsorship. So they got no sponsors yet.
Except for Melbourne.
City of Melbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, the city of Melbourne.
That's why it sames Melbourne.
Yeah.
I think it's a 1-year
I
contract.
thought they were
That's really-
sponsoring the Melbourne Avant.
We'll get to that later.
Moving right along.
Partnerships, advertising. I think they're pretty much the same as sponsorship.
Yeah.
Just different definitions. Tournament winnings.
Because that's a solid return on investment plan.
No.
Then you leave one eye.
Because you're only looking at like 10% maybe.
Yeah.
No. And House of Order.
Yes.
What? Sounds like a tea shop.
I think that's supposed to be their gaming house.
This is supposed to be the gaming facility. So from what I've read surrounding this, and articles posted on different business circulations, I guess is the way I'd phrase it, is they're looking at one of the things they're looking to do with the crowdfunding is to build, retrofit, whatever they decide to do, essentially a high performance center. They're looking to build a high performance esports center. The scope of it, will vary. Whether that's all inclusive, whether it's just a player house, whether that's
like content
a
creation
full thing,
rooms.
like that has everything you could ever imagine you want for an esports club. Still yet to be decided / announced / financed.
But that that costs money.
That's right.
Costs a lot of money.
Overall, I'm with Inman on this one. He's just said in the chat, personal opinion, the Order thing looks dodgy, undercooked concept. I agree.
Yeah,
it is severely undercooked. Put it back in the oven for a little bit and think about it for a while. Because although, as Tags pointed out, there's some very powerful people on that proposed directors list.
Cool story.
I see the word proposed, and in my experience, I think Riot shouldn't have even listed them. Because if they're a proposed director, they're not a director of that company. It's like, hey, they might come on board. You know what? Coca-Cola might be a sponsor of the esports show. It's a proposed sponsor. Without actually any background knowledge, without them releasing ASIC documents that you can pay ASIC $20 to find to see if they've actually lodged any director's forms, it doesn't mean crap. So
Yep.
for me as a person looking to invest, I'm hands off right now.
I would probably rather put money into like cryptocurrency at the moment.
Or this show?
With that, what have we got? 20 people watching.
Yeah,
Everyone gives $100. New desk.
That's not bad. Actually. Yeah,
that's
that
actually not
could-
bad.
Yeah, that's 2K.
Yeah, look at that. We could actually have some production quality on this show.
We could buy Production Steve a new shirt. The one that he doesn't have to take off when it's above 2 degrees.
What's that? I think he wants to make a state. Is he? No. Okay.
No, he's just saying no.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to, you want to. But right now, it's still just expressions of interest to place an
Yeah.
order for order.
Mm-hmm.
Ding.
Steve closed it. He didn't want to do that anymore. And look, as we say with all things on the show, we talk about them to facilitate some intelligent discussion, or when it's the three of us talking, some really unintelligent discussion. So I think just wait. Don't be prepared to invest in order as soon as they announce that investments are open.
Send off an expression of
what
interest.
happens.
Send off an expression of interest if you're interested.
Yeah.
I have. Maybe I'll get my $50 in there.
Maybe you will for 0.005% of a stake in order.
Oh, it might be. That probably won't be worth much.
No, it won't be worth much at all.
I don't- yeah.
We'll keep you posted, ladies and gentlemen. Have a sus and let us know what you think. But Inman, I'm with you.
I just want to add one thing as well. We've got
go on.
lots of teams, lots of top teams that have been around for quite some time that still don't have sponsors either. So
Yes.
you're looking at Greyhound, you're looking at the Kings, which I don't think they've got any teams left.
No.
They've had top teams
Yeah.
quite a long time and still haven't been able to find sponsors. So my faith in them actually grabbing sponsors, I mean, unless they've got their contacts, which they probably do,
Likely.
and get them in quick, that is a huge money funnel right now, especially how much they're paying their players.
Absolutely.
So I would just be scared at investing into what is currently black hole.
You would be
Take
investing in
$100
something
and
that's
put it
not
down
even
the
breaking even right now.
Oh, it wouldn't be close.
No.
It would be like 100% loss right now.
That's right. So
Yep.
keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on, though, it's more sponsorship news. Funny that.
Yay.
ESL has paired with one of our favourite snack food manufacturers.
Your
at least mine.
favourite? There you go.
Certainly have. Certainly
Oh,
have.
yeah.
We got Pringles coming on board.
Woohoo! Hence the name of the show this week.
Yep, once you pop.
I want
You can't stop.
And that's a global sponsor as well.
Yes.
I want to merge those two symbols. I just do.
You know what you could do though? You could seriously just put, because you got like the lines in the middle of the ESL logo, just put them like war paint through the Pringles face.
Behind the mustache.
You feel that?
Yes.
Yeah. Wouldn't that have just been
That'd
such
be
a
great.
good way to announce this?
They're great in Scotland.
Yeah. Braveheart style.
There we go.
Yeah, freedom. Hey, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I might be young, but I'm cultured.
You're about as cultured as yogurt.
What do you think, Lewis? What do you think about this one?
Love
Pringles.
it. Love it. It's good.
Yep.
Get in.
You like Pringles yourself?
I have devoured them on certain occasions.
What flavour's your favourite?
Paprika, but then they took them away.
Oh, that's a different one.
Yeah, they were very nice. So probably sour cream and onion.
Yeah, I'm a sour cream scrub, so I'm with you on that. Terry, you just don't like snack foods right now, do you?
No, I just don't like Pringles.
Really?
No, because like I want them to develop like my hands are too fat for the chew.
See, I'm fine.
Yeah. See, you skinny prick. But the thing is, like, you know, on the bottom deodorant, how you can twist it and it pushes up. Why haven't they done that with the Pringles can?
Yeah.
Oh, like a push pop.
Yes.
But
for
just
chips.
Yes.
Steve's just said turn it upside down, you idiot.
I'm sorry,
Fair.
Captain Pringles connoisseur.
Gravity's difficult.
Gravity's
Yeah.
a law I don't obey,
Yep.
bitch.
Oh my lord.
All right.
So there we
Let's
go.
move.
Pringles. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for putting up with that.
So we'll go through a few ESL things now.
We have quite the ESL slog. IEM Sydney format has been released, Tibor.
Yep, so we can get the format up here, 16 teams, double elimination bracket. Now this is the same
Good.
that they're going to use at Katowice. So this is really good. If you win the winners bracket, you go straight through to the semi-final.
Yes.
If you come through the losers bracket, so second or third, then you get through to the semis. No,
Right.
quarters. Quarters essentially, although there's only 2 matches there.
Okay, makes
So
sense.
at least we get 5 matches instead of 3 on
Okay, cool.
stage.
Awesome.
So that's really good. So that's how we got the Friday in there as well. Probably 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday, I reckon.
Yeah, with likely a show match in there as well, I'd say, just to fill time.
I assume show match before the grand final.
Yeah, I would
That's what
assume
they
so
did
as well.
last time.
Sunday.
And that was really, really good.
Yep.
But I am Katowice. Okay, that is the worst word.
We're also
How dare
Tanzania-
the Polish have a city?
It was like
That's this big.
I
It's
just
smaller than
no.
Adelaide.
It's just because I want to read it as cattle ice. Like that's
Do it,
that's
do
it.
it.
No,
Read-
I'm
do it.
going to be just
No.
slandered. So they've got 4 different. They've got 4 different IEM, and they've actually got an ESL 1 going on.
Yes.
Technically, so they've got PUBG, $50,000. That's 24th and 25th of February.
That'll bug out. Keep going.
Yeah,
Well, esports ready.
stating the obvious.
Yeah.
Thank you. CS:GO, February 27th to the 4th, March the 4th. Order is competing in that.
Yes.
It's a $500,000 tournament. US, $250,000 for first. Then you have StarCraft 2,
Nice.
$400,000. 70 something players, 72 players, I think. $150,000 for first.
Yes.
That's February 26th to March 4th, so pretty much the same dates as CS:GO. And the ESL 1 is a Dota major. It's
Right.
$1 million.
Jeez, big money.
$1 million going up for that. $400,000 for first.
Jeez.
So that is huge. That is going on at the moment. We actually have a image for the brackets of that. So quite a bit through.
Okay, yeah.
And then they've got a finals stage after these. So that goes from the 20th of February to the 25th. So and a couple of days left in that tournament. And looking great. So yeah, Dota 2 Major going on at the moment. Check it out if you are into Dota. That's about the Katowice news.
Yeah, so Inman has just pointed out internally how they say it at ESO, Katowice. So,
Katowice.
yeah, so my half hour of listening to Polish
You
people
got
say
it.
that word was worth it.
You
I could have asked Inman, but you know, where's the fun in that? Big events going on over there, of course. Thank you, Lewis, for covering those. But we're not done with ESL news yet, are we?
No,
No. Okay.
we're not. So we were talking about the Pro League last week. So this is a bit of a follow-up
Yes.
of the Pro League. It's going to Facebook, and so I was like, all right, tuning in this week. I watch most of my esports on my mobile.
You do.
It was a bit hard to watch, and I'll show you why.
Okay.
I took some screenshots. These are the 2 options I had.
That's. I would. Yeah, no. I mean, it's nice that 822 people were watching, but watching like that's ridiculous.
I mean, I love how when you turned the screen landscape, it actually fixed the aspect ratio for you so you could watch the game, but still had it
Well,
as
I
if
mean-
you had the phone portrait.
Yeah, like no. If you're laying down, flip it to, and it's fine. Yeah, you just lay on your side. What's your problem?
Well, the thing is,
Filthy millennial.
is most
It's so
smartphones,
hard.
he's put it horizontally to get that.
Yeah.
So you can't lock perspective horizontally on most smartphones. You can lock it portrait, but you can't lock it horizontal. So he couldn't have turned it the right way up to watch it after going there. You had a good time, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't watch much. I will say, I tried. That was about 5 attempts. That was like 5 attempts. I could not get it.
No.
Could not get it. Facebook has to do a little bit of work on that.
Yeah, especially when like mobile viewers are a thing. Like mobile viewers for Twitch are a thing, and Twitch works very well on mobile. I'm quite happy with how it works on mobile. So, and we discussed last week, I believe, on the show about how Facebook did put out a long thread, Facebook esports, about what they're doing to refine their platform for esports viewing. And that was all well and good. It's just, unfortunately, you can't rush these things. And God, I hope they don't rush this. They need to get it done right the first time.
Yeah, they will. They'll rush it.
And a second time.
Yeah, and the third time.
Yeah.
But look, that's that's not even just a you thing, because I've had that exact same problem on Facebook. So
Yes.
it's not just Tibor's incompetent, inept at using smartphones. It was actually, that's a Facebook problem. So I'm with you on that, my friend. Anything else? Any other feedback you need to give Facebook right now? I'm sure Zuckerberg's watching the show.
Oh, he definitely. I've just checked
Him
the
and
viewer
me,
list.
I say.
Oh, he's in the chat?
He's in the chat.
Oh, look out.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
It kept swapping as well between a good bit rate and a low bit rate because you can't choose your bit rate.
Okay, that's rough.
So that was a bit painful as well.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, that's about that.
Okay, that's
about
fair.
that.
Moving on from ESL though, until we plug everything ESL at the end of the show.
Yep.
GG Easy Bar, one of my favourite watering holes in Melbourne, probably one of my favourite watering holes in general. Lewis, they had a bit of fun this week.
Yeah.
Or we've had a bit of fun with them this
I'm
week.
calling this staged.
Okay.
Calling this staged. But they put this tweet out about contents of a bag that was mistakenly left at,
God's sakes.
at their venue.
Yes.
Basic bag with those contents inside.
I mean, I'm sure.
Oh, it's only a couple of days after Valentine's Day, so...
Look,
you go
Mr. Untitled has said apparently there was a Bucks night. Apparently a lot of things went on at GG Easy Bar that night. Regardless of what they were, damn, this is quality.
Yeah, that is some good marketing. I don't assume, do not assume that this was legit. However, I suppose it could be.
Look, it could be. It could very well be from a Bucks party. They were the contents of the Bucks purse that he had to carry around that night. I think that would be hilarious.
And he's gone, I'm not carrying this anymore, guys.
But I have to say, that did very well. 289 likes at the time that you screenshotted that, including one of your own.
Well, that was today that I retook a screenshot of it.
Oh, you
just
retook
to
one
see
today?
it, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's pretty good. That post has matured well in terms of tracking, and that post does well than most esports announcements in our region. So
That's done, brilliant.
You know what you need in marketing now, ladies and gentlemen: lubricant and sweet potatoes.
God.
That's a rich gang kind of advertisement. Oh Lord.
Yep. So
well
that was
done
just,
to GG Easy Bar on that find.
Yep.
But
That's brilliant.
our next segment's probably what you've been looking forward to talking to the most, Lewis.
Not really.
Look, I had planned an intro for tonight where I was going to give you a new title. You are the show's resident semantic nitpicky twat. And I think that was... Is that accurate?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
100%. I've got
Absolutely.
an intro that I made for myself with it.
Yeah, so, but I saw this on the run sheet. We've talked about this. Talk us through Gfinity's latest announcement with the Sydney Chiefs and Melbourne Avant.
Well, that was it. That was it. So we have two Sydney-based teams in the Chiefs and Avant. Mm-hmm. But, you know, to go along with their original theme, they're hanging on to it. They're gripping. They're gripping. They've gone, all right, we need the biggest, what's the biggest rivalry you can think of? Well, we'll just call them Melbourne.
Yep. So this was a point when the announcements came out. Look, good on Gfinity. They've been able to get two of the biggest franchises in esports history, two of the biggest names, I should say, to come on board and pick up teams for what they're running. That's all well and good.
Yeah.
But then looking at the Twitter replies that came through after the announcement regarding, okay, so how is Avant actually based in Melbourne when their general manager comes from Adelaide and the owner comes from WA?
I think
Very big question.
one of the guys high up there comes from Melbourne.
One.
Brucey.
Brucey.
Comes
Yeah,
from Melbourne.
Brucey
I think,
does.
I think some of their players may come from Melbourne. I'm just spitballing here.
I mean, but also, can we just add in there, Avant has stable rosters of players that come from Melbourne constantly? That's not really a thing of Avant's past 12 months.
Yeah, but they have to be based in Sydney. All the teams have to be based in Sydney. They need a house in Sydney.
That's it. So when previous announcements have come out with Gfinity, we've covered them as well, talking about how they're playing live at the Sydney studio every week to play in this Gfinity competition. Like, that sounds all well and good. But having a Melbourne team playing in Sydney every week, ideally they're not going to be based in Melbourne because you wouldn't want to be flying over all of your franchise players to Sydney every week to play in an 8-week league.
I thought it was only like 5 weeks or something.
Oh, maybe. We're not. No.
I think my favourite comment on it was from Cyanide, from Steve,
Yeah.
our producer. He put out Avant's teams Avant Gaming's teams aren't tracking too well. Maybe Melbourne Avant would be doing a bit better.
Doing better.
But they just lost their rugby league team. They don't have.
Vultures has a good point. Sonic's from Melbourne, ahead of their CSGO team. And I do like Sonic, but yeah, it's Xenox has pointed out all entirely located in Sydney, 2 Sydney teams. What a meme.
Yeah. So they're trying to generate that like Sydney versus Melbourne hype.
Yeah.
The
The thing is, like, we will not deny, Sydney versus Melbourne has been a staple of sports in our country for a long time.
Because they're two big cities for sports.
Not only that, but also SA versus Victoria. Very big rivalry.
Everyone just hates Melbourne. It's not from Melbourne.
Yeah,
that's-
basically.
No, everyone hates Melbourne, including Victorians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just Melbourne's sucks.
Except
so-
for MJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for Carmody. And so, like, I understand the narrative behind this. Absolutely. They want to foster a rivalry between a Sydney-based team and a Melbourne team to engage viewers, to engage people with their content. But the rivalries we see in traditional sports aren't forced. Those teams are geolocated in those cities.
They're from those
You
cities.
know, players that play in the AFL that play for Crows, sure, they might be picked up from the Brisbane Lions. They don't continue to live in Brisbane to play footy. They move to Adelaide and relocate. And Steve's like, no, they don't. While, of course, esports isn't in that place, we can't financially facilitate that. It also doesn't make sense. Like, I understand why, but what's the need for this geolocation-based rivalries?
Yeah.
When you
and-
could just have a really good product and have the rivalry between Chiefs and Avant that's already present.
Well, what I love was the statement of this, well, with their rich history, this is a statement from the CEO,
Yeah.
with their rich history, and now calling them Melbourne and Sydney, we'll be able to create new rivalries. But that's
Which
the
one is
whole-
it?
I've already got the rivalry.
That's it.
It's
It sounds like they've got nothing else but that.
I don't like. It's just so forced. It's just so forced. I mean, who's gonna like? Then someone's gonna have to pick up the Perth team,
And then, like you pointed out, MJ from Legacy is going to be so disappointed because now he can't have Melbourne for Legacy, although it made sense that if Legacy get involved, it'd be Adelaide.
yeah.
My heart goes out to MJ, the poor guy. Not really. I
But
don't care.
I think this is just to at least reward the first two teams because I don't know. I haven't even heard a leak of the other teams.
No.
Of
No,
what they
we've
could
had
be.
plenty of Gfinity information passed on,
No, we haven't.
a lot of which we can't release.
I know. I wish we could.
I really wish we could.
I wish we could.
But
But
we'll
look,
have to wait and see for these other teams.
They've got two teams.
It's
They're
a
gonna
start.
start. They're going to start later in the year sometime.
They have said April.
That'll at least give Avant and time to pick up another Rocket League team. It'll give both teams time to get Street Fighter players, and by that time, Avant CS:GO team will have buggered off.
Although I think Sonic's probably going to stick around. I get the feeling
Yeah.
Sonic's going to stay.
Oh,
but
no,
talking of track record, especially the last
I'm
6
just
months,
saying,
we'll
I'm
see
just-
how that goes.
What are we being said
What's
here?
Steve sending us? Yeah, what about Order if they join, who is promoted by the city of Melbourne? What if they become Darwin Order?
They can't
question,
now.
Steve.
And Direwolves, who are Sydney SCG,
Yeah, can't be Sydney.
they can't
They'll be
be.
Hobart.
Because
They'll
I
be
was,
Launceston.
because their studio, like their whole
Their whole high performance
setup
center is SCG.
is next door
Yeah,
to the Hoyts where they're setting it up.
yeah.
So I was like,
Hey, maybe
I
we'll
reckon,
have a
but-
couple of Sydney teams, which is likely.
We'll have Sydney North. Oh, what was it? Back in the day, it was West Sydney and East Sydney, I think.
Yeah, so
Huh?
maybe we'll
you've
have
got South Sydney,
all
like
Sydney Chiefs
NRL,
and Sydney Wolves.
NRL, you've got Sydney, West Sydney, Penrith.
Yeah. We'll see
Byron
how they
Bay.
go. The likelihood is that there'll be a couple,
So-
there'll be some double ups for Sydney and Melbourne, I
Yep.
think, and maybe we'll get one from Queensland, one from SA.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, wow, we're in sync tonight. But that's Gfinity. Stay up to date. Follow Gfinity Australia on Twitter so you can see announcements because when we see
Every-
them, we report them here anyway. Because that's the information we get.
Info we get.
Not that we can get.
But before we started the show tonight, I was busy trying not to
Die.
and you guys were watching Let's Play Live. How's it looking?
When you
Better.
Say, yeah. When
Better.
You,
Oh, sorry.
When you say watching is a very subjective word.
Okay.
I was more noticing that Nutters didn't have his shirt tucked in.
Okay.
Blackout was still not
Oh,
looking
with
at
a
the
jacket
camera.
on, with a
With
jacket.
a jacket on. It wasn't ironed.
Okay.
And
The
then-
jacket or the
Neither.
ironing a jacket?
Look, the guy,
To be honest, why won't you let us love you?
I'll just say, I'll just say, I said better, I'm wrong on that. It's butter.
Butter.
It's butter.
You had
Much butter.
Oh God, you had to record the accent, didn't you? Look, Let's Play Live. They're trying. I'll give them credit on that.
They're-
But for you, for you, is it just the simple things like making sure your shirt's ironed? I mean, I say that, but you look at me. But I'm a dishevelled mess tonight
I
on the
let
show
my-
for more than just my shirt.
I let my fat crease out my shirt.
The
Works
simple
quite
thing,
well.
yeah, there was quite a few things that bugged me. I mean, you got two people on the analyst desk and they're not sitting central to the camera. It's like you and Terry sitting there and sort
Oh,
of
yeah,
leaving
sorry,
this
we'll reenact. Sorry, you look at the camera.
section part.
Like that.
Yeah. And so you talk at me, okay?
Yep.
And I'll just go.
Yeah. So basically, it's us on a Cyber Gamer Premier League broadcast.
No, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Better.
Oh, better.
See, the thing is, I think what was happening with the notice thing, which irks me so much, he didn't bother tucking his shirt in because he thought the camera was going to cut it about his belly button.
Ah.
You would assume.
You would assume.
You
I think
would
it's,
assume.
yeah, I'd assume.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was better. The green screen was better.
Yes.
From what I saw.
Okay.
When I went to my mobile to look at the replays from last week, it was a lot worse than the screen we're watching it on. But maybe that was better. They're getting there. They did a Dragon Ball Z fighter.
Okay.
X or what? Dragon Ball Fighter. Whatever.
Dragon
whatever
Ball
the
Fighters. It's
Dragon Ball
fighters.
Fighter one.
Yeah, Bandai Namco actually came out and said it's just stylized with a capital Z. It's fighters. So yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters.
I didn't really look at it. People, if I go and look at the clips, and it's just people clipping the casters. Oh, not the casters, the analyst desk.
Yep.
It's. Okay,
Sure, Steve.
Steve's going to bring us up a picture.
Steve had a picture of the green screen, he says. Wrong green screen, Steve, damn it. Since when has Steve been memeing in production so much?
It's good.
This
I like
is, I
it.
like this.
I like it.
He
All
really
right.
is like Dicky. We need to get him a microphone.
No.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. I think we can push
Look,
on.
we can push on. LPL, we do wish Let's Play Live the best of luck. They're trying,
They still keep. Oh, sorry. Wait, one other thing. They're still calling Disorder Order.
and it's just tilting you
Just-
because
just
Order's
let
not
it
here at the
go.
moment. That's their substitute team.
Just let it go.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
still Disorder.
Just stop it. Just breathe
The
through it.
semantic, pedantic. Steve's just going to have this repository of
Yes.
memes to play now.
And we know who to blame.
Okay, well, make sure you tune into Let's Play Live. They are trying their best, trying to do something different over in New Zealand as well. And you can catch them just before we start our show and probably still going at the moment, which is, I'd like to say that's where all our viewers are, but we
That's
don't get
not-
viewers. So
Yeah, I
you
don't know.
tell me.
Maybe they're all watching the E-League.
Ah, yes.
Yes, well,
A
I
few
hope
people watching that.
Yeah, and A-League, E-League.
The A-League, E-League, because nothing else in esports is called E-League, except for the last CSGO major runner. And
Hey, theirs has a hyphen.
yeah, but it doesn't in anything that
No.
they use. It doesn't in hashtagging.
But what
It
a
doesn't
great segue you've given us, Lewis.
Exactly,
Well
exactly.
done. I'm so proud of you.
It's brilliant. But it was a good broadcast last week. I got
For the
home.
E-League?
Yeah, I got home after the show last week and
Yes.
watched some because it was still going until 12:30 in the morning, Adelaide time.
So 1 Eastern. Yep.
Yeah.
Rough. I
Very
mean,
rough.
CSGO's had that plenty of times before for land finals, but it's
Yeah, but that's
a bit different.
it's not supposed to.
No.
I don't know if they're going to speed up the breaks between matches.
How long are the breaks between matches?
3 days.
I don't know. It must be a
By the looks of
while
this-
because the matches aren't that super long.
No.
No.
But they've got it was great concept. I'll run through the stats that they're claiming. I mean, I think they got up to almost 2,000 concurrent on Twitch,
Yep.
but they're streaming it to Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and the Fox Sports website.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Okay.
So, they've claimed that they had 138,000 unique viewers for last week.
Okay.
The average viewership for a A-League game is 119,000.
Yes.
So they're claiming to have 19,000 on top of that for the first season.
for
Looking
the
at-
first night of E-League.
for the first night.
Okay.
But that was a 5.25-hour broadcast compared to a 2-hour broadcast.
Yeah. Okay.
At the moment, they've got, what, 3,300?
3,300.
Yeah, 3,300.
Okay, that's pretty good.
3.3K.
Damn.
Watching on Twitch, so those numbers might even go up as people are becoming more aware of it.
Absolutely.
They're trying to use this to boost viewership of the A-League, essentially.
Okay.
But that's Fox Sports viewership, so that's the paid subscription. You have to pay to watch
So
that
the
viewership.
E-League, the idea behind the E-League is to draw esports in, draw in a viewer base, and hopefully that'll transition to watch on Fox Sports, the A-League, which is a paid subscription
Yeah.
to Foxtel.
I think also letting, for the FFA, letting SBS do some A-League games as well actually boosted their viewership because now people could watch it and cared. Like the first few seasons, no one cared because they just couldn't watch it unless they had Fox Sports,
Right.
which is what esports people don't generally have that issue of. So they complain about where streams are going.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're also saying 1.62 million virtual impressions, so impressions for last week
Yep.
for E-League. Now that could have some run over from other iterations of E-League out there,
Okay.
but they're not running anything at the moment, so I don't think that's too high.
yeah.
So I think
Vulture
that
says
number's
that
pretty good.
all the Twitch stats are legit, which is fair enough. I don't think we're disputing any of that, are we? Are you disputing any of the Twitch stats for E-League? That they're not quite right, or they're misrepresented?
No.
cool.
Because like I looked at it and said, how do they have 138,000 unique people? I looked at Twitch, and they only had 130,000 channel views.
Right.
So that couldn't have added up. But if they've got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Fox Sports website as all sponsored content, you're going to have people scroll over that, and that'll
Yeah.
count as a view. So how much of that is?
How much of that is actually Twitch distribution, and the others is kind of remains to be seen because
Yeah,
we don't
and
have
how
that,
much
that data.
is like engagement as well? Like if it's just scrolling up on a sponsored thing and that counts as a view,
Yeah.
who knows? But
You
it's
know,
still,
or if
it's still good
Twitter
numbers.
sideline or
Yeah.
stuff like that. Okay, okay.
Still good
following.
numbers, but and CEO of the EGAA had a bit of a brain fart.
Jessup did?
Yeah,
Why?
he put a tweet out saying that there was 95,000 concurrent viewers. That was
I
the
did catch
channel-
this.
That was the total channel views at the time, and
Yeah.
it was a bit of a brain fart there.
That's okay.
That's okay. Just a funny thing.
Yeah.
But for me, the format, I don't like it.
Why is that?
I
Explain.
don't like it.
So
So
soccer? That's why it is.
no, I watch the Madden League.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
So basically, you have the 5 Xbox players, or the 10 Xbox players, the 10 PS4 players. You play in a 4 and away series with your teammate.
Okay.
So you go-
Is it
So-
teammate as in how? How are the teams distributed as well?
So each team, 10 teams, have drafted a PS4 player and an Xbox player.
Right.
So they play through all the Xbox players, or all one, and then they play through all the other as the second legs. So you've got to watch like heaps of the broadcast to get your second match.
Right.
I'd like them one after another if they're going to run it that way.
Like if you're playing teammates, it should be like Xbox player, then PS4,
Yeah.
then Xbox and PS4.
Yeah, get through
Okay.
one match,
Yep.
now the next match,
Yep.
now the next match.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'd like to see that. But the format they're using, you have to use 3 players from your club and then anybody from history.
In terms of the actual makeup of the roster of players you're using in the game.
On the field.
That makes no sense.
Okay.
So everyone's like, I'm going to have Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm going to have Ronaldo, I'm going to have Messi.
yeah, Ronaldinho.
LA.
We all have the same,
There he is.
goalkeeper?
Ronaldo.
yeah, of course. We all have the same goalkeeper.
Okay.
I had no idea what they kept saying CR7 has the ball. Took me half the broadcast to realise that was Cristiano Ronaldo number 7 because everyone's got Ronaldo in their side. They need to call him CR7.
yeah.
It was like, yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. I think you either go full on and you can select anyone you want, like Madden.
Yep.
So right now everyone uses Nick Foles as their quarterback because he's got the highest stats because he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or there's another Madden league that uses, you have to use that team.
Yeah.
I don't like halfway.
No, neither do I. I know, I understand the logic behind it, and that you got to use some of your team because it's your team, it's the branding and stuff like that. And at the same time, I understand the competitive aspect, where you go, well, use players that are going to actually be competitive in the game, because there's statistics of individual players for those that haven't played FIFA. Individual players, in terms of characters on the field, have different stats regarding things like dribbling, shooting, like goal kicking, passing, all sorts, control, stuff like that.
How do you get these players, might you ask? We're talking about EA here.
Microtransactions.
DLC, yay!
Random chance. Great. Player card packs.
Yes, you do. Which has been a big thing. I mean, like I've watched a bit of Cripsy, who's playing for Raw.
Brisbane, yep.
Yeah. And I like the guy as a Twitch streamer as well. I find him entertaining. He's funny.
Yeah.
And I've watched him, because he is obviously FIFA streamer as well as playing in the E-League, hence his role there. But I've watched some of his card opening things, and it's disappointing because of the way the system works. You are impacted by the players you're actually getting out of these. They're not just cosmetics in the FIFA system.
No.
So that to me irks me a lot.
Yeah. So if you want to play with these players, like these guys are.
Can we confirm that they're having to use their accounts and their unlocked players in the E-League?
I heard them talking. I don't know. These guys would spend so much on it anyway. I think they are using their own accounts.
Right.
Because they were talking about, in one of the articles, they were talking about this person has a better, what do you call it? Better deck, all that kind of things.
Right.
So I think they are, but even if they're not, it doesn't really change too much. I don't think, because I think you can
in the
trade
E-League matches itself, they have EA unlocked accounts that have everyone, so they're not using their own accounts. Okay. So it might have been nice to have that clarified a little bit more as well, just for competitive integrity.
I don't think that matters. Like I had assumed they could access everyone, but then practicing with everyone's another thing.
Yeah.
I think some format changes would be nice,
Okay.
but they're getting good viewership, they're getting good reviews. I just think it could be a little bit better. Like I'm again nitpicking, but I think also being Fox Sports, I would have liked to see a bit more training going into the broadcast talent.
How so?
I would have said one, maybe two had any live on-cam experience.
Okay.
It was great to see that they got a Matildas player, the Female Soccer Australia team, as the colour commentator. Just needs a bit more experience in actual commentary. We'll get there. But like being quite a few weeks in the making, I would like to see a bit more sort of practice going into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we expect, going back to our discussion around Let's Play Live. You know, we expect that if you've got the support of Sky, like they do, that, okay, you're going to have graphical assets done before the first week of broadcast, you know, that are up to standard for the kind of production you're trying to do.
Yeah.
When we're looking at Fox Sports, I think it's fair for you to say that it looks quite good, it's polished, but to nitpick and just go, you're Fox Sports, it's supposed to be great, I think that's fair. I think it's fair to just go a little bit more experience in terms of broadcasting. Whether they did training and stuff, that's beyond me. I don't know. But I think that's fair, especially when you're trying to launch a new product. It needs to be as polished as possible at the start.
There's just so many awkward cringe moments. The flow was a bit out. They didn't sort of... It was just the little things that really make a good broadcast. For me, it just lacked a bit. They'll get there with experience, but a bit more practice.
Yeah. Genome's thing as well said regarding the decks, the players have to qualify with a pay-to-win deck, so who ends up in the E-League isn't necessarily the most skilled because it all depends on have they been able to play during qualifiers and stuff like that with the best players because they have to play with their decks.
Before the draft.
Yeah. So that's a very good question and interesting to think of. But moving on from FIFA, I think that's enough. The discussion went too damn long.
Thoroughly.
Lewis, you've got a section in here, hype videos regarding esports CompuGaming leagues. Paint me confused. What the bloody hell are you talking about?
You haven't seen this yet.
No, I haven't.
I like this. So basically, I'm starting up an esports league. Josh.
Are you?
I am.
Okay.
Yep. It
I
is
want to be
called.
as far removed from this as I can.
It is
No, you're a managing director. Actually, no, you're a potential director.
You're esports.
Okay. Cool.
So it's called the Esports Compute Gaming League.
Okay, thank you.
I got a hype video for it.
Okay. Shall we play the hype video?
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
Whoa, he got out! He'll go down, and the camera is in the form of his life. He was a champion! Cheated!
This is one of the best parodies I have seen in my life.
I've also got my Twitter image or Twitter header that.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
so
God's sakes.
going out, I did not know you were doing this tonight, but going out on a limb here, I'm guessing this has something to do along the lines with Steve's tweet about using everybody else's footage to promote your own league.
It is an industry staple.
Okay, yeah, okay,
It is an industry staple.
yeah.
So do you like my league?
I love your league.
You like my league?
I love the
I do.
E-capital S for esports.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
You've run an event in the past, though, haven't you?
No.
No, I'm pretty sure you have.
No.
No,
No.
no
Nah.
experience.
I'm pretty. Do we have that footage?
No, it's confidential.
Right.
Stop throwing! You suck! Stop throwing!
Why are you throwing things?
Because it was rigged. He was throwing. He was throwing. He sucked. That was
It's rigged.
That was Sono Junior there giving me the finger.
Sano Junior. That's cool. Xenox saying, where's the sign up link? Ag for Esports, Baz is in the chat as well. He feels attacked. Lewis, I'll give you credit for that one. That was bloody funny. That's good. Well done. So make
that
sure,
was- yeah, that
do you
was-
have a sign up link for the viewers at home?
My website's still in the making.
The graphics designer start in 2 weeks.
Okay,
And-
web developers aren't ready yet?
No. Look, we get. I said become a pro today, but just give it a little bit of time.
Okay. I'm going to leave that right there. Lewis, talking about esports consultants, they're Red Eye's favourite thing. They're Lurpus and Thorin and everybody at the top end of esports' favourite esports consultants. There's a lot of them. Tell me about this this amazing job in the industry.
Yes, there's a bit of talk. We've got some images.
Okay.
That we can go. Bryce Plum. You're well, you fanboy over him.
Love Bryce.
So there's a lot on LinkedIn,
Okay.
and here we go.
Yes, there's a lot on LinkedIn about it.
There's a shitload, as he says. If we go over to the next image,
Let's have a look.
if we up.
Oh, there it is.
Here we go. So Red Eye put up the numbers. In 2014, 23. In 2015, 76. In 2018, thousands. And he had one consultant approach him and the org he's with,
Right.
saying that he could help leverage esports.
Because Code Red need an esports consultant to help them leverage esports.
Which isn't even a thing.
No. That's brilliant. Do you have any more for me?
I do. I got
Lewis?
one more.
Oh, please, God.
I got one more.
Oh, it's us.
No, I don't. There we go. So this person, I'm going to assume he's a troll, but it's fantastic. He said he's starting up the Global Professional Gaming Organization, the GPGO, and he's going to ruin Jarl. He's going to take esports and MLG and give him a chance to merge and join forces with him.
Okay.
His project is extremely funded by his private investors,
Oh, that's so good.
and it's an open declaration. I assume this
Capital is more than enough to insure.
Yep.
So
His English
this venture's
is
insured.
Yeah.
not ensuring that it's not. The project cannot be stoked. This is hands down the most trustworthy esports consultant with the GPGO, and I'm willing to invest. And you know what? I'm going to help crowdfund the GPGO based off of this
No,
representation.
he's got enough private investors. He's
doesn't need it.
Extremely funded.
Extremely funded.
Yeah, basically esports consultants.
Okay.
No.
Look, esports consultants. Okay. As a thing, consultants in business have been a thing for a very long time.
I'd rather get an experienced business
yes.
consultant.
Yes, and the thing is like, okay, if you're big business coming in not understanding esports, you could reach out to a handful of people just going, hey, you seem to understand esports, what's there to know? And majority of them will give you their opinion on stuff, and then you'll be able to, if you're an experienced business person with the kind of money to invest in esports, likelihood is you know how to search out the right people to actually get the information you're looking for in terms of the market data and analysis.
I don't, you'd hope.
You would hope.
We've seen some instances.
We've seen
where
instances locally where that hasn't been the case.
we'd not, yeah.
But look, the principle itself of a consultant, been in business for a long time, that I don't have the problem with. I agree with you, I agree with Red Eye, Bryce, on the fact that it's people that have promoted themselves as having this amazing understanding of the esports industry, but, and it's not even a quantifiable thing in terms of time. Like, okay, you could be in the business industry for a couple of years in actual, not esports, but business.
Yeah.
And God, you could have business knowledge and understanding because you've had good mentors, you have been in great opportunities and positions, you've learned a lot about business, and you bring a fresh perspective.
Good
Cool.
mentors. Did you get a level 3?
No. But, you know, that in business happens, you know, because young people, innovation, stuff like that. I get that. But if people are just entering esports and then trying to tell people where to spend their money and haven't actually been a part of the esports infrastructure or system, they've just been an observer, that's a concern. And there's lots of them on LinkedIn. Just follow Bryce and Red Eye's Twitters, and you will see plenty of times where they've mentioned particular ones at the top end of the consultant industry that spout horribly reported data and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they've got to have an understanding of esports, because I mean, I can tell, like, I'm not a big business person, but I can tell people what won't work.
Yeah.
See, I've been around it for a long time.
Long enough, a couple of years.
Long enough.
We've seen a lot.
To see, we've been involved with OPL teams.
Mm-hmm.
So we can kind of guide. I'm not an esports consultant.
No.
I did say, when I heard the Crows were, when I sneakily heard that the Crows were getting into it, I was like, I just didn't want them to stuff it up. And I was like, look, if you want, I sent him an email and I said, if you are looking at esports, I'm happy to give you sort of a guideline on it.
Yeah.
I'm not an esports consultant, but I'm
No.
happy to provide.
Give you 2 bobs worth.
Give you 2 bobs worth.
Yeah.
They just went and bought Legacy. That was probably better.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
still, like,
That's the thing, is like, but even then, you're not trying to charge $300 an hour for your advice. You're just like, hey, I've been around esports for a little bit. If you want my 2 bobs worth as a community figure or whatever you want to represent
I
yourself
love
as,
you.
hey,
I want this to work.
that's right. I want to support you and give you my opinion.
Yeah.
Sure, that's fine. I do have Genome's linked me Scoot's tweet as well. When you are talking to someone about consulting for them, and you tell them you only fly private now, and they say, "Okay, consulting's crazy stupid." Yeah, look, agreed with you there, Genome. At the end of the day, nothing wrong with giving some advice,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of people at the top end of the industry that have done things for a very long time. And if you're looking to invest in esports, get advice in esports, just do some simple research. Work out, okay, this person, what have they done? What are they doing? What are they actually qualified to give me advice on?
And if you can't find both, just get a business consultant and an esports guy.
That's it. It doesn't have to be all in one. In fact, you can ask a dozen people and collate data, get a lot of opinions. It's
You
probably the
can
best way to
be-
do it.
Yeah, and
Called due diligence.
there's other people happy to guide them in the right way.
That's it. We have lost a member of the panel. Unfortunately, our good friend Terry has had to leave us, and it sounds like the Adelaide weather is about to tear down the studio. So hopefully we can leave soon. We are running a little over time tonight, guys. But Lewis, let's smash through the rest of what we got here. The EGAA Awards are coming up. And we
So-
talked about this last week, and you were hypercritical.
Yeah, well, I did say that award shows are boring,
You did.
but they might make it a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
Because we nominated ourselves.
We did. We did.
Yep. So, well, you did.
I nominated
You
us.
did. Aiden was going to, but then you said that we did. So if we win, they're awesome.
Yes.
If we lose,
Waste of time.
horrible. Why even bother?
And this comes back to bias. Lewis is in no way affected by a personal bias at all when it comes to this show.
None. At
None.
least I'm being open.
At least you're on the forefront of recognising potential bias, Lewis. I'm proud of you.
Put it out there.
Live OC events, Lewis, what's happening coming up soon?
Well, you can buy tickets for IEM Sydney,
You can?
and you can buy tickets for CGP LAN.
You can.
Buy them.
There's an after party coming to the CGP LAN.
Ooh. That'll be fun.
That'll be interesting. Hopefully it's ready by April. Otherwise I might have to crowdfund it. But yeah, no, look, I am really excited for 2018's iteration of IEM Sydney. The 3-day event. We talked about format tonight. Looks great. Buy tickets, get on board. Premium tickets are sold out. So there's the standard day passes, or you can invest your money, time and money and knowledge into getting a Global Elite ticket. If you want to know what I'm talking about, watch last week's episode on Go to Game. Lewis covered that pretty in depth.
Yep.
Other than that, my friend, what else is going on around the world?
The CSGO Star Ladder.
Yes.
That's going on. Renegades have made it into the top 10. Top 8. They made it through the best of 3 Swiss bracket. They lost the first 2, won the next 3.
Damn.
All of them 2-0s.
Wow.
So
Well done.
I think the last one was 2-0. It was very nice though.
Yeah.
Very well done by them. And so they make it into the sort of live studio stage, I believe it is, because they had 2 stages across from each other for
Yes.
the broadcast.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. They're doing good things over there in Kiev, Ukraine. So tune into that. That will be on this weekend.
Okay. And finishing off this week's show, we are a little bit over. We apologise. This has been one hell of a week. It's everybody's favourite time of the show, Lewis. Tell us what we're looking at right now.
The E-Gaming Award, it goes to another government dumbass in America. It goes to this gentleman coming up, the Kentucky Governor, Matt Bevin,
Okay.
Republican, of course.
Of course. I love the look that he has in his eyes. He does not at all look like he's influenced by violence in media at all, is he?
No, he's not. Other
No.
people are.
Oh, other people are. That's the key issue, isn't it?
Other people are. So, school shooting in America again.
Horrible tragedy.
Yep. No, what might be a contributing factor? Would it be the ability to buy automatic rifles?
That's one argument.
No.
You can put, I was worried you were going to... Actually, I was looking forward to you caressing me then.
No,
Okay.
it's this.
CEO of every media company that produces a video game that is violent in its nature, the movie producers who make the movies, the record producers who produce the music that we listen to, all of you. We've got to step up. We're the adults. Let's act like it.
Okay.
Violent video games, violent movies, and violent music.
Still the culture that is perpetuating horrendous acts of violence in the US.
Everyone's desensitized. I've got no moral compass. Prayers has been removed from school. Blah blah blah.
Okay. Now, I don't have to tell you, and I don't have to tell the viewership either, that there have been plenty of studies that have shown, yes, violent video games
Are played
do,
by mental people.
well, not even that, but they do increase where you sit on the aggression spectrum. There have been longitudinal studies that have shown it does. It doesn't take you from being placid to doing horrible things like this. It takes you from maybe you've been playing some competitive Call of Duty today and you lost a lot of MM games, and now you've got to drive to work for a night shift that you're not looking forward to, and you've been abused all day online by squeakers. So now when that guy cuts you off in traffic, you might yell at him instead of just going, well, he probably needs to go somewhere fast. Like, it's
Yeah.
a slight movement on the aggression scale. It doesn't lead to... There is so many other factors that lead to horrible things like this that I think the Senator's got it wrong.
Yep. Basically,
Direct connection, according to Steve. Oh my God. We're going to leave that one right there.
It's wrong. He's an idiot,
Yep.
and no.
Mr. Untitled has pointed to one factor they haven't considered, and that's all the violence we see in the newspapers influencing young people to do horrible things like this. So make sure we look out for those editorials because they're clearly to blame. That's it for us this week on the Esports Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We apologise for how bad tonight was.
It wasn't. It didn't
Thank
start
you for
off
sticking
great.
with us, but it did have a beginning, middle, and an end, and thank God at the end. My name's Matthew Judge Brand. Terry was sitting about here, and this is Lewis T. Gratz. Tune in next week. We'll be back with more of the Esports Show.